probably similar to the one you had growing up as a kid. Now, would it shock you to learn that California is twice the size of Portugal? That Greenland could fit inside the African continent more than 14 times? Or that Australia is larger than the entire continent of Europe? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but this map has been lying to you your entire life. The problem lies in projection, which in mapmaking terms means the impossible task of accurately representing a 3D object, such as our spherical planet, in a two-dimensional map. It's a problem that's plagued cartographers for centuries, and even made an appearance on the West Wing.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes.
For example, that map from earlier, the one you grew up with, this is the man responsible for your literally distorted worldview. Gerardus Mercator was a Flemish cartographer, and in 1569 he created the Mercator projection. This map, which is still used today, found favour and was quickly adopted by the rest of the world because it preserved local angular relationships. Those are these straight lines here. Those straight lines make seafaring navigation so much easier. However, the downfall of this projection is that the closer the landmass is to the top poles, the more distorted it is. Although the shapes of these countries and continents may be correct, it's their relative size that leaves a lot to be desired. You're able to fit the entirety of the United States, India, and much of Europe inside the outline of the African continent. But the distortions don't end there. According to the Mercator projection, Russia appears to dwarf the US, but in reality, Russia is only 2 times larger. Canada is the same, only being 1.2 times larger than the US. One of the most common alternatives to the Mercator projection was presented in 1974 by this man, D. Arno Peters. The Gall-Peters projection makes seeing relative size of places much easier.
We like President.
Places appear stretched, horizontally near the poles and vertically near the equator. The fact is that there is no perfect map for all occasions.
Yeah, that map is wrong. What's up, guys? Stinky Cash here. Today I want to talk about the maps. If you were like me and you went to public school, they had these chalkboard pull-down maps and every single one of them was wrong. If you tried to use this map to navigate your way around the world, you would never, ever, ever get where you were going, where you were intending to go. Ever. This map is terrible. All these rectangular maps are terrible. Now, if the Earth really is a ball, like they claim, then the best map we have, the best flat map or 2D projection of a globe we have, is the North Pole Azimuthal Equidistant map. This is the map that the UN uses as their logo. This is the map that the USGS uses. This is the map that air traffic controllers use. This is the best representation of the Earth we live on. Yet when we go to public school, they use all these terrible maps. They use this one. They use the Mercator projection, which has all the continents in the wrong place and the wrong size relative to each other. If you tried to use this map to navigate, you would never get to where you were going. Okay? In that scene from Law & Order, they showed you the Gall-Peters projection. This is also wrong. You can't use this map to navigate. You will never get where you are going. The Robinson projection, you will never get where you are trying to go. Ever. See, I live on the Jersey Shore, and most people think that when you're standing on the beach in New Jersey and you're looking out at the horizon, if you were to swim in that direction, you would eventually reach Europe.
Holy shit! Is that the ocean?
Yeah, buddy. That's the ocean.
What's on the other side of it there?
Europe. Yeah.
Now, how long would it take
Do not try and swim to Europe.
No, don't swim to Europe.
Do not.
Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, when you're standing on the beach in New Jersey looking straight out at the horizon, if you were getting a boat and start to sail in a straight line, and I'm not talking about in a constant direction using a compass, I'm saying in a straight line, you would end up in Brazil. You wouldn't come anywhere near Europe. And if you were to fly from the east coast of the United States to Europe, you're not going to go towards the horizon out over the ocean. You're going to travel north. You're going to cross over very close near the North Pole, and you're going to travel in a straight line from your starting point to your end point. because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. The furthest flight I've ever been to was a flight from Newark, New Jersey to Tel Aviv, Israel. And this is how the map on the little TV on the headrest in front of me showed the flight path on this Mercator projection, this awful map. This isn't the map the pilots are using, yet this is the map they show the passengers, and this is the flight path that they show the passengers, and they make it seem like, oh, this curve here, this is due to the curve of the Earth. This is bullshit. If you were to plot out this flight path from Newark to Israel on the flat Earth North Pole azimuthal equidistant map, it will be a straight line, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So if the best map we have is the North Pole azimuthal equidistant, then why the hell are they showing kids this map? Why are they using the Mercator projection? Why are they using the Gall-Peters projection? These maps are bullshit. Look at what the UN uses as their logo. This is the true representation of your Earth. Now, some people say, oh, that's just to look at the globe from the top down. No, it's not. Because you wouldn't see this if you were looking at the top of the globe. That's not what it would look like. People say, oh, well, that's just the flattened out version of the globe. Yeah, well, if that's true, how come you don't use the South Pole equidistant map as the UN logo? Look at this map. Look at the South Pole azimuthal equidistant map. Does this look anything like anything you've ever seen before? Notice how on all the other maps, including the globe, all the continents look pretty much the same. And then look at what they look like on the South Pole azimuthal equidistant map. This is supposed to be a projection if you were looking at the South Pole from the bottom. And if the South Pole, Antarctica, was in the middle of the map, and the North Pole is the ring around the world. Look at these continents. Does this look like anything you've ever seen before? No, this map is retarded. You could never use this map to navigate. You can never use this map to do anything. You have to use the North Pole azimuthal equidistant map. Why? Because this is the true representation of our world. I can guarantee that any flight you've ever been on will be a straight line on this map. Connect your starting point to your destination, and on the azimuthal equidistant map, it will be a straight line. This isn't true for any other map. Why aren't they teaching kids the North Pole azimuthal equidistant map? Even if they're going to teach the kids that the Earth is a ball, why aren't they using this map? This is the best map we have. It makes everything easier to understand. I could teach a 10-year-old how the sun, the moon, and the stars appear to move using this map. I can't do that using any other map, and doing so wouldn't be fair. Using these other maps is bullshit. These maps are keeping kids dumbed down. So my message to all the globe heads, my challenge to them is, get the North Pole azimuthal equidistant United Nations logo map into schools. Get rid of these other bullshit projections. And guess what? You won't do it, because if you teach kids the azimuthal map, they're going to realize the truth. And that's why you continue to use these bullshit rectangular flat maps with the west on the left and the east on the right. You don't teach kids how it really works. You don't teach kids that east is counterclockwise and west is clockwise. You don't teach kids how compasses work. You don't teach kids anything useful. You told them they live on a ball. You told them that no matter what direction they go, including north and south, they'll just simply end up in the same place they started. You told them that all the land had already been discovered and that there's no point for doing any more exploring.
I like to be an explorer, like the great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
All the land's already been found. You locked them in a box. You have purposely dumbed down our children. It's time we get this map into schools.